This is not a website scraper. Hermes is watching the request underneath the page. The new HAR-derived API client skill claims that one real browser run can reveal the JSON endpoint, parameters, headers, and response shape an agent can call directly after that. I tested the exact workflow, and the result is useful, but the headline needs one important correction. The official skill does 3 jobs. First, Playwright records a browser interaction into a HR file. Second, a derivation script filters that traffic down to fetch, XHR, and JSON requests. Third, you write a tiny HTTP client from the observed request. Hermes documents separate CAPTCHA paths for a browser it launches and for a browser reached over CDP. It also says clearly that this does not bypass authentication, CAPTCHAs, or bot detection. For the test, I used Wikipedia because it is public and does not require a login. The browser opened the main page, typed Dune Messiah, showed the real suggestions, and navigated to the Dune Messiah article. The captured traffic contained 3 distinct endpoints. The important one was a GET request to Wikipedia's search title endpoint, with only 2 useful query parameters, Q for the search text and limit for the result count. The derivation also preserved the browser user agent, which matters because default library user agents are often rejected. Then I removed the browser from the loop. A small Python client called that observed endpoint directly. The first query returned Dune Messiah as the top result. A second query, Foundation Isaac Asimov, returned Foundation novel series and Foundation by Asimov. That second query is the real proof. The client was not replaying a frozen response. It was making a new plain HTTP request against the endpoint discovered from the browser run. This pattern is strongest when a dashboard, search box, feed, or admin screen repeatedly calls a stable JSON service. One browser run can replace hundreds of future clicks. But the limits matter. HAR files can contain live cookies and tokens, so they must be treated like secrets and deleted after derivation. Private endpoints can change. Session headers can expire. Server-rendered pages may expose nothing useful. And a site can still block automation or prohibit the workflow in its terms. This is a client generator, not a lockpick. One more practical note. My installed Hermes build was behind the latest upstream, and its skill search did not find this package, so I tested from an isolated current checkout instead of overwriting a modified production work tree. Final verdict. This is one of Hermes's most practical skills for repetitive web work. It turns visible browser behavior into a maintainable client when the underlying request is stable and the access is legitimate. Just do not confuse observed network traffic with a permanent public API. Subscribe for more verified AI tool reviews.